Hello, what's going on everyone, and welcome to yet another video. And the last one we actually dived into ChatGPT and we were able to build something like a curriculum VTE template, and we promised in that video that we're going to take it further to the next level in this part of the video. And this is like what we want to do today is like a fulfillment to that promise that we made in that video. And if you want to watch the curriculum VTE template that we built earlier, I'm going to leave a link in the description so that you can go ahead and watch that. And what we're going to do in this one right now is to build something like a contact form. Okay, so let's see if ChatGPT is going to help us do that. So you can just say something like, can you build me a website contact form? And then let's go ahead and hit enter. And then it goes ahead to say I can provide you with an example of a basic website contact form that you can use as a starter point for your own website. However, I am an AI language model. I do not have the capability to create websites or contact forms. You can use a website builder like Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, or WordPress to easily create a contact form for your website. Here is an example of HTML contact form. So it goes ahead to actually generate something like a HTML contact form for us. And after that, it says that this is the basic form that includes inputs for name, email, and message, as well as the submit button. So the form uses the post method to submit the form data to the specified submit dash form PHP file. You will need to customize the code to match the design of your website, and also you will need to create the submit form.php file in order to proceed. Process the form data and send it to the direct to the desired recipients. So it's always recommended to work with your web developer for this task. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is, first of all, we need to copy this code that it has given us. It has given us the HTML code, and what we're going to do right now is that we need to have a folder. I've actually created the folder inside of my XAMPP, went into my HD docs and created the folder, which if I open it right now, see that there is nothing inside of it. So what I want to do right now is to open that folder with my Visual Studio Code, and as you can see, it is actually open here. So I want to create a few files inside of it. So the first one is going to be the index.php, and I want to open that up. And what I want to do right now is to generate the HTML boilerplate for the application I want to build, which I'm going to just do exclamation tab and to generate this for me. And I want to just basically change the title, which I'm going to just call contact form. And after that, I want to paste the code that ChatGPT has already given us, talking about this particular form. Right now, I want to paste it right there. So I'm going to paste it right here. And as you can see, what it is. And if you take a look at this place, it means that the processing is going to be done in this particular page. So whatever PHP code that we want to hook up with this particular script has to be named this, or if we change it, we can call it anything that we like, and we need to come back here and change it. However, the file name is okay. So I'm going to just copy that and then create that particular file for ourselves. So I'm going to just copy and paste that. So we're going to actually created a new file for ourselves. So if we go back to ChatGPT right now, we want to ask it to provide something like a PHP code for this to actually send an email. So let's ask that question here. Let's say, can you generate a PHP code that we actually send the message using the form you provided? So let's just say that we ask that question, and let's hit enter and see whether ChatGPT is going to do that for us. So we need to, let's scroll and see what it is telling us. So it says, sure, here is an example of a PHP script that can be used to process the form data and send the message using the form I provided earlier. So it goes ahead to generate the PHP code for us. Alright, so I think that it is actually done generating that code for us. Okay, so this is the code that it has just generated for us right now. So let's copy this. I'm going to click on copy, and if I go to this particular file right now, I want to paste that right there. Okay, so I want to make sure that everything is saved, this page and then that of this page. And to explain this, if we scroll back up to this place, we're going to see that there is a field called name, and there's another one called email, followed by this particular message. So if you check the form that we have earlier, you see that we have a field that is actually named name right there. We have the one that is called email, and after that we have this one that is actually called a message. So that is the thing that they're trying to actually gather. right here. So they're basically gathering that if it is the post request, they gather those things if people type it in that form. And after that, this is the recipient email, which is the owner of the website. So we need to enter the email of the owner of the website right here. So let's say, for instance, we're going to have something like, let's say yes at, let's say Code Kinder. Let's say we have a website called codekinder.com. So I basically do not have a website, but I'm just kind of giving you an example of what you should have here. So we have, let's say we have an email that is called yes at codekinder.com. So you need to enter that particular um, email address right there. And after that, this is the subject, which is going to just say new message from the person's name, whatever name that the person is bearing. And after that, you see it's processing the message down here. And it's actually a very, very surprising thing that was able to generate this PHP code for us. Okay, so here it's actually saying the message. Okay, it sends message and then goes ahead to just echo the message has been sent. And if it is not, it's going to echo out this particular error that we have down here. Okay, that's just basically what that is going to do for us. So I'm going to just save this page, and what happens is that let's just read. There is an information it provided down there. I want to take a look at that information. So it says that this script checks if the form has been submitted using the post method, and if so, it assigns the form data to variables. The email, I mean a name, email, message. Then it says the recipient's email, subject, and the message to be sent. So it actually goes ahead to explain that code for us. Okay, it actually goes ahead to explain that code for us, which you can take your time to read about it if you want to actually understand it more. Okay, so that's just that, and then that means that it's actually provided the code for the for this particular form to be actually sent for us. Okay, so let's just take a look at that form. So if we go to you know what, let me on my XAMPP first of all. So let's just make sure that your XAMPP is running, because this is a PHP code. It has PHP extension, and it's not going to ever run unless it's in a special environment. That means it needs a server. So I need to make sure that my server is running, and I want to go to that file. So this is going to be localhost, and we're going to call it mail. So we're going to open that up right now, and this is the actual form, guys. So if we fill this form right now and just say whatever we want to say within the form, if we hit submit, if had it been that this wasn't on a live server, this is actually going to send the email for us, okay? But it's not on the live server. And most of you who had ever developed a contact form in PHP knows that if you get this type of error in PHP, when you send an email, you know that the code is actually working. So all you need to do is just make sure that you put it on a live server and set up your host. Make sure that you configure your server, and you can receive the email. Okay, but I do not have any website. I don't have any access to any server right now that I can upload this to. Okay, so without wasting much time, what we're going to basically do is that we're going to see whether if we can even style this particular form that we have in here. So let's add ChatGPT to style the form for us. But just know with that the way that it is right now, you can actually put this on a live server and then begin to send mail. So let's do the styling now. Let's say, can you generate a CSS for the form you provided, make it look nice. Okay, so it says sure. Here is an example of some CSS that can be used to style the form I provided earlier. Alright, so it has actually provided that for us, and it's trying to explain it down here. So you can take your time to read that. But however, what I need is just this particular CSS code. So I'm going to copy this code right here by clicking on this place. What I want to do right now is to actually, if I go to my CSS right now, I do not have a CSS right here, but we can create one for what we want to do. So let's call this style .css. Okay, and let's open that up, and I want to paste that right here. Okay, and if I save and refresh the web page, you are basically not going to see that the style is not going to come in. However, we can, if we want to use ChatGPT to actually ask it to connect our HTML and CSS, we can actually do that. Okay, so we can just say something like, let's just say this style did not show up. So it's going to just apologize for it, and then it's going to kind of maybe search for ways to make sure that what the problem actually is. So you see that it tells you that you need to actually post something of this nature to the header. Okay, so it's a kind of telling us that we need to connect it. the CSS to that of the HTML page. So I'm going to basically copy this code right now. And if I go to my index right now, connect this CSS to this HTML that we have in here, we need to just paste that code that ChatGPT just gave us. I want to paste it here. Okay. And with that line, it means that we've connected our CSS to that of the HTML. So let me save this page. And now if we go back and then refresh this page right now, the style should now come in. And if it doesn't come in, you just make sure that you kind of clear the cache to make sure that that actually shows up. So you should clear the cache on your web browser. Okay, so I just cleared the cache and it seems like that's actually persisted, but we need to, let's take a look at it very well. So we just included this particular line and we call this styles. Okay, this was called styles.css and our own is style.css. So we need to remove this S right here and then we save that. Then if we go back and then refresh this page, and the style is now in, and as you can see, the form actually looks very nice. So you see how ChatGPT actually styles the form for us, and it looks absolutely very beautiful, guys. So it looks very beautiful. So this is basically how to um, use ChatGPT to create a contact form. And I hope that this is going to give you like a starting point to using ChatGPT. People should do more as we move along, but I'm actually thrilled by what ChatGPT has done for us so far. This is actually very great. So if you like what you have just learned, just give this video a thumb up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, just feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.